Chapter 68. Wood God Palace. Unbridled, King Liu Yong let out a cold snort. King Liu Yang's cold snort was like a loud bell, instantly striking within Chu Chen's mind. Chu Chen's head instantly shook, stopping the longsword in his hand that was stabbing at Gu Hai, his face filled with cold sweat. "Your Highness, my subordinate has been rash," Chu Chen said with a sweaty face. King Liu Yong coldly glanced at Chu Chen and eventually slowly calmed down. "Ha ha ha ha, Chu Chen. Calculations come to naught in the end. Naught at all. Ha 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 ha." The Love Flower grandmother rose up with a loud laugh. In the midst of the laughter, Grandmother Love Flower's entire body rapidly aged, her hair becoming white, her skin becoming dry and wrinkled, and her entire body shriveling up. "Grandmother, woo woo." Countless tree people instantly knelt down, looking at the constant changes of Grandmother Emotional Flower. Amidst weeping, cough cough cough, God is in the tree. God dies and the tree dies, a clan's supreme. Life is entrusted to God. When God dies, she dies too. Cough cough cough. The frail flowing years master sighed slightly. Amidst the laughter, the Love Flower grandmistress slowly withered and dried up, gradually turning into a withered dead love flower tree. The love flower tree slowly withered, eventually cowering into a pile of rotten wood. HMPH. Chu Chen let out a cold snort and probed his hand with a sword. Boom. The love flower grandmother's rotten wood was instantly split in half. "Grandmothers," the crowd of tree people cried as they came forward, hugging the corpse of the love flower grandmother that had already turned into a pile of rotten wood, crying bitterly. Chu Chen split the love flower grandmother's corpse with his sword and looked towards Gu Hai with a wave of unwillingness. Gu Hai was emitting an emerald green color all around his body. The love flower tree god entered the body, and the love flower grandmother eventually gave up its life. It was as if the love flower tree god also knew its end. Very willingly, it sacrificed itself to impact the liver orifice for Gu Hai with all its might. Boom! With a steep bang, the liver orifice was shocked open, and the emerald green wood god instantly transformed the liver orifice. And in the blink of an eye, the liver orifice released emerald green light, forming a wood god palace. It corresponded distantly with the water blue light of the water god palace of the kidney orifice. Fourth level of the Jindan realm. A wave of satisfaction flashed through Gu Hai's heart. Rumble. Earlier, the bone blade had swallowed and absorbed the power fed back from the 1000 Jiao dragons and Bosha, as well as the power fed back from the 5 dragons, and at this moment, it finally didn't need to be squeezed anymore, and headed towards the kidney orifice. Buzz. Once it entered the kidney orifice, it was instantly transformed into a stream of wood-based true essence in a roar, slowly rotating in the center of the kidney orifice. The true Dragon Golden Dan technique was in operation, and Gu Hai separated a strand of consciousness, immediately condensing a wooden green dragon, coordinating the spherical wooden true essence. Ang Ong Ang. Inside the body, the purple dragon of the Danshan, the blue dragon of the kidney orifice, and the green dragon of the liver orifice slowly rotated within Gu Hai's veins. The 3 streams of true essence did not interfere with each other, even when they got along. However, at the moment, the watery true essence that the blue dragon of the kidney orifice was commanding, when it ran into the liver orifice, it actually transformed some wood true essence into the liver orifice. Water generates wood. Gu Hai consciousness looked at this scene of true essence transformation in surprise. Could it be that the 5 elements of true essence could transform into each other? Gu Hai's heart was excited for a moment, but at this moment, he did not dare to be careless. When the 3 shares of true essence circulated around in the body, and once again returned to their respective Danshan and analog Danshan, only then did it all come to an end. And the next step was that the 3 shares of true essence could rotate on their own. Boom! A stream of chi bulged out around Gu Hai's body, and his eyes opened. Jindan realm, 5th level. A hint of joy flashed in Gu Hai's eyes. However, in the twinkling of an eye, Gu Hai's expression was once again solemn as he looked up towards that flying boat in the sky. For some time just now, King Lu Yong had actually been waiting for himself. Jindan Realm, 5th level. Congratulations, Mr. Gu. King Lu Yong smiled faintly. Thank you, Your Majesty. Gu Hai nodded. On the side, Chu Chen, however, had a gloomy face as he stared at Gu Hai dead in the face. Since Ma Gu has recovered his cultivation, why don't you leave now and follow me back to the royal residence? King Lu Yong looked towards Gu Hai. Gu Hai's eyelids slightly jumped, wanting to refuse, but at this moment, he was unable to open his mouth. Right at this moment, the broken army on the side steeply raised his eyebrows, revealing a wave of joy. With a wave of his probing hand, buzz, a sound barrier was instantly formed, making it impossible to hear the internal sounds. Your Highness, the things have arrived at the mansion first, Broken Army said with a happy face. Oh, King Lu Yang's eyes lit up. Your Highness will give the things to me. I can organize an invincible army. Broken Army's eyes showed excitement. Mr. Mo has returned as well. King Lu Yong looked at Broken Army. No, I heard the sound of the king's residence in my ears. There was no Mr. Mo. Wait. The person who was escorting the shipment opened his mouth to describe it. Mo stopped for 2 days before arriving. He stayed in Silver Moon City earlier, as if he was inquiring about the whereabouts of someone. Broken Army frowned. Inquiring about the whereabouts of someone. Do we need Mr. Mo to stay personally? King Lu Yong said in a deep voice. The butler also asked the person who was escorting the shipment, and that person said that Mr. Mo said that this person is very important, a great talent. And that, if the king could obtain this person, it would be no less than obtaining another batch of escorted goods. Broken Army was slightly stunned and said, Oh, King Lu Yang's eyes lit up. However, it's unlikely, right? This batch of goods is, who can compare to them? Broken Army raised an eyebrow and said, Mr. Mo is searching for talent for me. Ha 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 ha. Good, great talent. Broken Army. Don't underestimate a great talent. Take Mr. Mo for example. This lot can never be compared to Mr. Mo. King Lu Yong laughed. Yes. Broken Army nodded. All right. Prepare to depart back to the house. I'm going to see just how different this shipment is from what I imagined. A wave of anticipation flashed through King Lu Yang's eyes at this moment. The sound barrier was soundproofed, and the dialogue inside could not be heard, but Gu Hai appeared from the expressions of the two of them that both of them were in a very good mood at the moment, and there seemed to be a thought of leaving right away in those eyes. Buzz. The sound barrier suddenly disappeared. Before King Lu Yong could say anything, Gu Hai immediately snatched the words out of his mouth. Your Highness, Gu Hai also wants to go to the royal residence right away. But, after all, Grandmother Loveflower has helped me, and even gifted the wood god to me to open up the wood god palace. Gu Hai has nothing else to ask for, and only begs your Highness to allow me to take care of the aftermath of Grandmother Loveflower, so that I can fulfill my heart's desire as well. Gu Hai opened his mouth. King Lu Yong frowned. Although Grandmother Loveflower rebelled against the great Jin dynasty, but, after all, she has benefited me. Please allow me to collect her corpse for burial, Gu Hai solemnly said. Burial, HMPH. This withered wooden head is also worthy of burying her. Chu Chen revealed a cold smile. On the side, Master Liu Nian sneered. This is the difference between a human and an animal. Rudder Master Gu's faith is unrivaled. Whoever is kind to him, he will sincerely repay. Unlike some people, Yipin Tang treats him with sincerity, but he eats his heart out. A man without faith is not a man. A man who is a traitor, who dares to use him. Today, you can betray the Yipin Tang. In the coming day, I wonder if you will also betray King Lu Yong. Old thing, You want to seek death? Chu Chen glared and drank. King Lu Yang's eyes narrowed slightly as he looked towards Chu Chen. Isn't it? Human nature is different. You can be two-faced and betray your old master, but Gu Hai won't. He has a beginning and an end. Once he makes a promise, 100 horses don't return, Master Liu Nian said in a cold voice. King Lu Yong looked at Gu Hai. Indeed, what Grandmaster Liu Nian said was also right. Gu Hai having this character was ultimately better than Chu Chen. Although this character was unpleasant to his current self, but if he were to take this person in the coming days, this person would be so loyal to him as well. Thinking of this, the anger in King Lu Yang's heart subsided, and he frowned at Chu Chen. Indeed, this person had some tricks up his sleeve, but he could only be used as a hawk and dog. While scolding Chu Chen, Grandmaster Liu Nian looked at King Lu Yang's expression, and when he saw that the hint of annoyance that King Lu Yong had towards Gu Hai slowly subsided, and instead, he became more appreciative of Gu Hai, Grandmaster Liu Nian also secretly let out a sigh of relief. King Lu Yong looked at where Gu Hai was. Gu Hai, Jindun Realm, Grandmaster Liu Nian, and Mu Qinfeng were all seriously injured and powerless. Long Wanqing's strength, just at the Yuanying realm, it should be inferior to Mu Qinfeng. A group of tree people, all of them have long been wasted. Nearly 1,000 would rudder disciples, weak. Gu Chen, the only thing Gu Hai relies on, is only Gu Chen. All right, Mergu, this king honors you for your love and righteousness. You stay and handle the aftermath for Grandmother Love Flower. I'll give you 1 day to do it and return to the king's mansion right after, King Lu Yong said in a deep voice. Don't worry, Your Majesty, Gu Hai nodded. Chu Chen, Broken Army, you guys stay behind. Wait for Gu Hai and show Gu Hai the way, King Lu Yong commanded. Yes. Broken Army nodded somewhat reluctantly. After all, the things that Mr. Mo had sent back, Broken Army also eagerly wanted to take a look at, and at this moment, being left behind was depressing. However, Broken Army also understood that the king had left himself behind, but was using it to spy on Gu Chen. After all, they were all heaven-level kins. They understood each other, and leaving someone else down was ultimately not reassuring. As for Chu Chen, as well as a group of Golden Rudder disciples, they were naturally used to watch over Gu Hai and his party. With Chu Chen's strength, watching over Gu Hai's party was basically effortless. Mr. Gu, the day after tomorrow, see you at the king's mansion. This king also wants to hear what other new masterpieces Mr. Gu has in store. King Lu Yong laughed. Don't worry, Your Majesty. I still have some more tracks. I'll have Your Majesty's appreciation at that time. Gu Hai laughed. Good, go back to your home. King Lu Yong laughed. Yes, in all directions, millions of generals let out a loud shout and boarded the flying boats. Rumble. Hundreds of flying boats slowly flew off into the distance as King Lu Yong left with a large number of his subordinates, leaving behind a pile of ruins. The Love Flower Valley was surrounded by flames, as if it was hell on earth. Thousands of Love Flower Tree Demon corpses, Love Flower Grandmother corpses, every single one of them was miserable. Whoa! A crowd of tree people hugged the corpses in the midst of crying in pain. Cough, cough, cough. Grandmaster Liu Nian weakly coughed up blood, also badly injured. Long Wanqing's eyes reddened. Whole Master, save your grief. Let's collect the corpse for Grandmother Love Flower. Gu Hai sighed slightly. Master, Mu Qinfeng was covered in blood, and at this moment, he was also in the midst of crying in pain. Gu Chen didn't say anything until the beginning, biting his lips. His face was very ugly. Just now from King Lu Yong, he felt a great threat in general. What are you looking at? Defeated General, humph. Gu Chen looked at Broken Army and said in a cold voice, Loser underlings, heh, winning a tune and you dare to be complacent. There are thousands and thousands of tunes I know. You've just gained spiritual wisdom. How many tunes have you heard? Ambush from 10 sides. Now, I know it too. Want to try? Broken army sneered.